have nothing, sorry.
Welcome to CrossCut, everybody, where Chris has nothing. Dun-dun-dun. Sorry, guys. Chris is sick right now, so we'll give him a break on this week. Anyways, roll credits.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to CrossCut. I'm your co-host, Chris.
And I'm your other co-host, Healthy Josh.
And today I'm going to do my best to not die in this episode. Uh, and we're going to
Just like
review.
our main characters.
We are reviewing Speak No Evil with James McAvoy.
Speak no evil. I'm gonna remain silent for the rest of this in honor of the young boy in the episode.
So, Speak No Evil.
Well,
Uh,
you chose it, Chris. Why'd you pick this movie?
well, I was actually on Facebook and I was scrolling, and then I saw a reel of one of the scenes, and I was like, huh. I remember this coming out, and I just never got around to it.
What
So,
scene? Just curious.
it was the where they're eating outside and they're dancing, and he yells at the boy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That was a yeah,
Sorry.
that scene was all over the trailers, I remember. So this movie actually, so funny enough, anybody that went to the movies at all last year before September most definitely saw this trailer. So I go to the movies a lot, and every single time I went to the movies, this trailer was always playing. Like Universal just put all their money into movie trailers because it was always playing. And it got to the point where I was just like, oh my God, this freaking trailer again, Speak No Evil. Like I like Blumhouse. I love James McAvoy. And I was like interested in the movie, but I was like, it's a remake. Like, is it gonna be that good? And when I was actually on my way down to Florida last year, I stayed with a friend in Tennessee for a couple nights,
Yeah.
and we had a free part of the one day, and she's like, "You want to go see a movie?" I'm like, "Sure." And what's playing? She's like, "Well, how about Speak No Evil?" And I was like, "All right, all right, we'll check it out." And we both loved it. Actually, we really both enjoyed the movie. I was
Mm.
pleasantly surprised of how good this was.
Same here. Like, I actually didn't remember anything about it. Just like I remember seeing the trailer, but then I didn't remember it was Blumhouse or Universal. I really enjoyed it. Like the high tense scenes of like the awkwardness and the like, do they know? Do they not know what's going on? And then, well, at the same time, it hits different for me. I can
Yeah.
see myself like in their shoes, especially with the family, you know? So it's it got really weird sometimes in that movie.
It's awkward. There's moments that are supposed to be kind of like awkward, and there's times where it's played for laughs, which is great, and there's times where it's played for tension, which also worked as well. This
Right.
movie does have funny moments, which I was not expecting, and I remember laughing quite a bit. And this movie's very clever as well.
It is. But what scenes did you laugh at?
The beginning when James McAvoy first walks over and he's just like, "Hey, can I borrow this chair?" And then you just
He
see
just
him
dragged it.
dragging it, and I'm like, "Okay." When I saw that in theaters, I was like, "Okay, this movie's gonna have some humor to it." And James McAvoy, he just like his demeanor at times was a little like goofy, like
Yeah,
okay, but he also can come off as scary. So he did a great job mixing both,
he had a good
and I
balance of it.
thought
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought he did a good job, and he is what makes this movie stand out compared to just kind of like a standard-ish thriller that this could have been. This could have fallen into that forgettable category, but I think this movie will be pretty memorable for years to come. I'll full honesty, I've never seen the original.
Me neither. I
Uh,
didn't even know it was a remake.
I I do have interest in maybe checking out the original at some point just to see how it is compared to this remake and like what they did differently, what they did the same. Was the reveal the same kind of reveal or was it something different?
All right.
So I'll have to check out the original at some point.
Well, okay. Let's get into the characters real quick. James McAvoy. Yes, we already talked about him a little bit, but didn't he remind you of Split in a lot of scenes, especially at the very end?
Yeah, definitely got the split vibes for sure.
Yeah,
You know, when he's going crazy and
yeah,
he's,
yeah.
very physical, that was definitely split for sure.
Yeah. But I also like the different stereotypes, I guess, if you put a family in danger, how the wife was more the one willing to do more things to like protect her family while he was the coward one. Like you always see in the different horror movies, like it's the dad has to go and kill someone or fight him off, but instead he's panicking, he doesn't know what to do.
Well, I think that's also the idea with this main dad played by Scoot McNairy.
Mhm.
He is this kind of pushover, and it seems
Right,
like even in his marriage, he gets pushed over a bit by his wife. And I
right.
think that
He's a
is a bit of
target
his
son.
idea. Like even at times, his wife wants her to say some. He wants him to say something to James McAvoy at times to
Right.
be like, "Can you just please like stand up?" And it's also that like awkwardness too of like trying to like not be rude to like somebody you don't really know, but also it just plays into Scoot McNairy's character. Yes, he is a bit of a pushover.
I don't know why I had a problem with Agnes.
The daughter.
Yeah. Like I get it that she's got several like issues like anxiety and whatnot, especially for her hobby. But all the things that Aunt was telling her or trying to show her, she wouldn't say anything to her parents, right? Even though she knew something was wrong at the beginning, like, she knows something was wrong, but didn't say anything.
I
When
think
he
that's
showed
also
her
just
his
like
scars and
yeah, but that's also like what is she supposed to be like 12? Like
she was 11.
sometimes you just 11, you just don't fully understand until you're like actually like there's the scene and what were they in the cellar and
Yeah,
she shows her the pictures. Like finally it's like, oh, okay, it clicks. Like
right.
everything leading up because he couldn't speak was just like just maybe he was kind of awkward and she didn't know like how to, he shows him the scar. It's like, okay, but what is this exactly? And what does she show? He shows her the watches, right?
Mhm.
In the bedroom. And I'll be honest, like if I was an 11-year-old kid, I'd probably be kind of confused too. You just don't fully understand sometimes what somebody's trying to relay to
Yes.
you.
Yeah. Well,
But she was no, she was actually very when I said this movie is clever, like her whole thing where she kind of cuts herself
that
to
was
get away, like that was very smart. So I thought her character was pretty smart overall.
yes, she is very smart. That I agree with. But it's like they had the chance to actually get away, and it was for the damn rabbit.
Yeah, there's always something that has to bring him back, and was her whole thing like it was like separation anxiety? Was that kind of what
Yes.
she was going through?
Yes, and I know
And
he was trying to like break that habit even from the beginning of the movie. He's like, "Oh, Hoppy needs his own room," and like she's 11 years old, trying to break a habit, and the mom is like, she needs it. And then if they would have just said no, they would have survived a long time ago, like just gotten away. And because even I don't know, like after he almost crashed, that would have been a sign like, don't go after the damn rabbit. Get
I
away.
guess again that goes back to him being a pushover.
Yes,
So that fits the character. Like he is gonna back down to his wife, and they go back, and obviously, they're back in it. They're stuck there again.
they're back trapped again. Yep, yep. I'll do admit that the ant character, he I did not think he was gonna be like the son of another person.
Okay, okay. So
I
so you thought
actually,
he was their actual son?
yeah, I thought it was
Okay.
their actual son, and that they just abused the hell out of him. And it's like
Hmm.
the tongue thing, like, oh, you talked back to me too many times.
Yeah, I've not seen the movie yet, then we're definitely going to be spoiling some stuff
Yeah,
because this movie is a big setup to ultimately there is a reveal. One of the things this movie does do very well is it does take its time to really get to the big third act.
Yes. All those awkward moments between them, it's not dull. You kind of want to know what's going to happen at the end of that scene.
You're right. You're just waiting for the pin to drop. You're just waiting for
Right.
something to happen, and it finally does happen, and then it's pretty much just a fast pace to the end at that point. But probably for the first hour and a half, it's kind of like there's just things happening, and you're not quite sure. We're getting little pieces of info here and there, and then finally, it's like, boom! All right, there it is. Go.
Right. Yeah. Like I mean, almost every scene I expect James McAvoy to just snap. Like he's up to the point of doing it, but then like reverts back.
Mhm.
And the his wife, uh at the beginning I thought she was just siding with him. She's already fucked up just as he is. And that they would do that to their son. So I was like, okay. And then all that when they're trying to get back into the house
Mhm.
and they actually lock him in the basement or tool shed or whatever it's called. And she just starts screaming out like, "Take me with you. I was his first victim." And I was like, "Whoa."
Right. She says she was like younger than the
She was
daughter
Agnes's
when,
age, she said.
yeah. And, when it came to the Kira, the James McAvoy's
Right,
wife, she does say that, but you gotta wonder, is she just playing them or does she actually
right,
mean it? I think there
right,
is kind of like she's too far gone at times.
right. Like at first you think, okay, is she actually saying that? But then the very next scene, she's at it again, trying to hunt them down. I'm like, oh, so she was playing them. But then, right when they are climbing out the window, she hesitates. Right,
Hmm.
she hesitates for to shooting. I was like, oh, okay, maybe she was telling the truth, or she just felt sympathy. But then it kind of confirms at the very end when Patty sees her on the ground, right?
Confirms what exactly?
The whole thing that she was his actually first victim,
Oh, because how he reacts.
and not just how he reacts, but he says like, "Okay, Agnes is gonna be mine now because who else do I have to take care of me?" Like, kind of
Well,
implying,
Agnes was already planning. He was already planning to have her as the new kid because they were going to kill Aunt,
right? But
and then replace Aunt with Agnes.
right, but I think to me, it sounded more like since Kiara's dead, who's gonna take care of me? Not meaning as a daughter or
Sure,
replacing Kiara.
sure,
And uh then I was thinking, okay, so maybe Kiara just had Stockholm syndrome or something all those years.
probably. Yeah, that's
Mm.
probably what it was.
Exactly. I'm
He
like,
groomed her since she was a kid.
yeah, she did. He did. I mean,
Although James McAvoy's not that much older, so he probably would have been not that much. Well, maybe like 10 years older. So like
maybe around.
he probably would have been still pretty young when he started all this.
Yeah. I don't know why. When they're in the cellar and you see all the different items, the suitcases and whatnot, I, all I could think of was wrong turn for some reason.
Okay, all right.
I don't know why. It's just that's what reminded me of it. All they're like trophies in a way. No, I really like it. I was always tense in almost every scene, just wondering what was gonna happen. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's a good kind of a bit of a mystery that keeps you intrigued throughout. And these kinds of movies, they, if done well like this, awesome. Like those slower-ish moments don't feel slow. But if not done well, then it feels like, all right, you kind of check out at times. But I never really feel like I check out during this movie. And then it's like before you know it, it's like, all right, now we're going into the big final act.
exactly. Like even when they go out to like dinner with Mike the cook, like even that scene wasn't a letdown either. It was interesting, the whole talking about intimacy and everything, the joke she pulls. I'm like, oh, okay, but it wasn't dull. It was like, okay, it's getting somewhere. It's getting
And that
somewhere.
was another funny scene that made me laugh because they make it awkward and funny the way they're role playing.
Right.
And then it obviously just shows how our main family is they're just very disconnected in their
Right.
marriage and they're not very passionate. And who knows, maybe this will actually bring them closer together because I feel like they were already kind of at that
Separate.
in the beginning of the movie even before all this started.
Yeah.
Um, but there was another scene that I just remembered is the in the beginning when the what was it, the Danish couple and James
Yeah.
McAvoy is just like, yeah, you got the poop and everything. So
Oh
that was also a
yeah.
funny scene.
Okay. That actually made me laugh.
Yeah.
The
So
faces on
yeah, the movie that like I was like, okay, this movie's gonna be funny. Like, all right, I can dig that. So I'm into that.
had some funny moments, but I really, really liked it when she injects him with the sedative and and he has the chance to actually kill him, the dad. Like I kind of wanted him to actually do it, but then he still doesn't. So like, come on. But it made it better when Ant got his revenge.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, it's a fitting ending that Ant's the one that gets to do it.
Yeah,
I did rewatching it. I did have a thought because like that's a great scene when they had the flat tire and then
yeah,
they're just trying to like get away
yeah,
and they're just like I'm sure the dad's whole motivation is just get my family in this car and let's get out of here. And of
right.
course they still have that opportunity to go, but obviously he throws Ant in the little pond there
Yeah,
and he has to go back. But I had this thought, I was like, man, the dad did try. He's like, "Hey, Aunt, can you get the gate?" And I think that was his attempt
that was his
to be like,
attempt.
"Let's
Yeah,
get him out of here." But man, I don't know. I feel like I would have just been like, I would have like popped the trunk open and be like, "Aunt, jump in, and like let's go," and just like rev it out of there. Because like the gate was like it was like metal. It was like like
yeah, it
a
was, yeah.
electronic fence. But I feel like
The
I
car
don't
could
know.
have
You could have
broken it, or
not
just
even that, but like the fence next to it, I feel like was wooden. Like I feel like just kind of
was the
like
one I thought was a brick.
maybe it was brick. I don't know. But yeah, you could have tried to just like fucking ram it and see
Yeah,
what happened. But not that I don't know. That wasn't
I'm
that's not the best car to do that. Was that like a Tesla or something?
sure
So
it probably
probably
would
would have
have
blown up
totaled a
on them.
Tesla
But
before he even made a dent in the
right,
fence.
yeah.
But I do like that way how Patty pointed it out. It was like if you really wanted to save your family, you would have left Ant
Hmm.
behind. Or when the wife is saying, "Why are you doing this?" Because you let us. Like, okay, that was pretty good. Like, they
Yeah.
technically did.
What did you make of the whole motivation? It seemed like it was mostly money. They were just trying to get the money, and like that's kind of their thing.
Yeah, based on that, like, because they never got rid of all their victims' belongings, and they would sell their cars. And, like, it made sense that it was more that, yeah, getting money and to still lure more tourists to keep a child somewhere.
That was like my one kind of nitpick. I was like, the motivation could have been better for like why they were doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
I
think,
always thought James McAvoy reminded me of like a predator who just liked to prey on people. Like that's what he does with the girls and he grooms them or he likes to just
yeah.
prey on these families and ultimately he just does it because he just likes the thrill. He doesn't even care about the money. But it just felt like I don't know. Also, there was another question. Did they ever get their money back? The
I was thinking
200,000?
that too. Like she transferred every last penny that they had.
I mean, I'm sure like pretend all right, movie ends, they're driving away. They're going obviously straight to the police.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure they would. One of the first things they would do is be like, "Let's get our money back." After they, you know, like how do you even like
I would
explain
assume
that when
so
you show up
since
when you get to
since
the police station and you're just like, uh, I got a hell of a story to tell you. Like, how do you even start that whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, so there's a bunch of dead bodies on this farm. We kind of killed some of them, but I promise, like, we're not the bad guys and all this. Like, where do you even like
Self-defense,
start?
self-defense.
And like the son or the aunt can't even like speak. So
Right, right. But all the evidence is there at the farm.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, how do you even like start to explain that if you're
And
like at a police station?
I would also assume they would want to get their money back since both of them don't have their jobs.
Well, yeah, definitely that.
Yeah. But I liked how, in a way, Agnes was kind of grown up when she hands Aunt Hoppy.
Hmm.
Like, you need this more than I do. Mm. That was a good moment for Agnes. Like, you, you need this more than I do.
Do you think they adopted Anne to become part of their family?
I would assume so. I would assume so because it shows how much they cared for me, even with the scene outside when they're eating.
Hmm.
She was really like, it's not about how or you're raising them, it's about what's right, right, you know? So like, okay, you can tell that they both cared for Ant.
Yeah.
And who
I
knows? They
mean,
might not even
again, like
change
you
their
said,
name.
they went back and saved his life. They could have just got away.
True. Then who knows if that's even his real name?
Yeah,
Don't know
we'll give
anything
him a new
about
name.
him.
We'll
Or
call Tongueless Tim.
well, either they adopted him or they tried to find his family.
His family was dead.
But I mean like a grandfather or something like that.
He can go visit his family anytime. They're buried at the bottom of the pond. Go visit them whenever you want.
Well, I don't have anything else to say about this movie. It's like I said, it's very entertaining. It keeps you on your at the edge of your seat, wanting to know what's gonna happen next.
The solid thriller, Blumhouse. This is one of your better ones that have come out recently because, man, y'all have had some shit going on. I don't even want to get started with the movies Blumhouse has been doing this year. But yeah, Speak No Evil was definitely very solid. It's definitely enhanced by the performance of James McAvoy. He's what
But
takes this movie from maybe mid-average to very good. The supporting cast too is very good. Everybody does their job admirably. Even the other mom, the main mom, Mackenzie Davis, like she plays that type so well. Like I can see her as the overbearing mother who you're just kind of like, bitch, shut the fuck up. But like she
yeah,
plays it so well. So I think everybody did their job very good. The director, James Watkins, did a good job with this. I also just love the look of it. And yeah, I think this was one of the better, I would say, suspense horror movies that came out last year. Definitely give it a go.
I agree. Yeah, go watch it. If you want to know where to watch it, it's streaming on Prime.
Where movies are meant to be watched. Anyways, that's our thoughts on Speak No Evil. Let us know what you think in the comments, or if you want to just be like Ant and stay silent, that's cool too. But at the same time, we would appreciate it if you would like and I guess comment. I guess you can speak that way if you want. And yeah, just let us know what you thought. Should we do some more mystery thriller movies? Should we go back to comedies?
Cut print, moving on.